The Enigmatic Portrait. The quaint village of Oakwood, nestled amidst lush hills and ancient forests, provided an idyllic setting for the unfolding of an extraordinary mystery. The village had long been home to the enigmatic Wallace Vanmontague, a renowned painter known for his lifelike portraits that seemed to capture the essence of the subject's soul. Each masterpiece was sought after by collectors worldwide, and whispers spread that Vanmontague's brushes held mystical powers. One summer's eve, the villagers gathered at Vanmontague's manor for his annual portrait unveiling. The host himself was absent, claiming to be preoccupied with a commissioned work in his studio. Yet, his reputation for eccentricities kept everyone intrigued. Among the guests were the village priest, Father Nicholas, and the observant widow, Mrs. Genevieve Hawthorne. The esteemed detective, Inspector Jonathan Gregory, also graced the event, his curiosity piqued by the rumors of Vanmontague's extraordinary talent. The gathering buzzed with excitement as the grand reveal approached. The portrait subject was the charming Lady Delia, the daughter of the village's wealthiest family. The canvas, hidden beneath an intricately embroidered veil, stood on an easel at the center of the room, shrouded in mystery. When the moment arrived, Vanmontague entered the room, and a hush fell upon the crowd. With an air of solemnity, he pulled back the veil, revealing the portrait of Lady Delia. The room gasped in astonishment. It was as though Lady Delia herself was standing there in her living form. The details were mesmerizing, the glint in her eyes, the faintest smile on her lips, and even the softness of her delicate skin, everything was eerily lifelike. Amidst the awestruck crowd, Inspector Gregory detected a profound sadness etched into the depths of the portrait's eyes, hinting at a secret, hidden within the artwork. The detective sensed that the truth lay beyond the paint, and he set out to uncover the enigma surrounding Wallace Vanmontague's brush. As the days passed, Gregory observed Lady Delia's friends and family members, but they were tight-lipped about the painter's methods. Meanwhile, whispers of an uncanny connection between the portraits and their living subjects began to circulate. Some villagers claimed that once the portrait was unveiled, the real person's behavior started mirroring that of their painted selves. Father Nicholas found himself pondering the metaphysical implications of Vanmontague's art. Could art capture the very essence of a person's soul? Or was there something more sinister at play? The philosophical undertones of the situation weighed heavily on his mind. One evening, while wandering through the manor's vast library, Genevieve Hawthorne stumbled upon an ancient tome, the Codex of the Brush. The book spoke of an ancient technique passed down through generations of artists, enabling them to imbue their creations with aspects of their subject's essence. Yet, this mystical process came with a heavy price. The artist's own life force slowly drained away with each brushstroke. Hawthorne couldn't believe the extent of the revelation she had uncovered. If this were true, Vanmontague was sacrificing himself for his art. But why? And was Lady Delia's portrait the cause of her recent melancholy? She shared her findings with Father Nicholas and Inspector Gregory, prompting a secret alliance to confront Vanmontague and prevent further tragedy. As they ventured into his secluded studio, they were met with an unsettling sight. The painter seemed older, frail, as though the very act of bringing life to his art had left him drained. Vanmontague spoke cryptically of his desire to preserve the essence of his subjects beyond their mortal lives. He yearned to grant Lady Delia eternal youth through the portrait. As he worked on the canvas, he poured his own life force into it, believing he could achieve immortality through his art. Touched by his motives but deeply concerned, the trio pleaded with Vanmontague to stop, to reconsider the consequences of his actions. The painter hesitated, torn between his passion and the realization that he was hurting those he loved. Lady Delia, who had been observing from the shadows, stepped forward, her eyes shimmering with gratitude and sadness. She appreciated Vanmontague's intentions but could not bear the thought of causing him harm. Moved by her words, the painter reluctantly ceased his work, releasing his grip on the brush. As the last stroke was made, the portrait of Lady Delia flickered and shimmered, almost as if it came to life for a fleeting moment. Then, to everyone's astonishment, the painting transformed, revealing Vanmontague himself as the subject, his soulful eyes filled with a bittersweet understanding. A wave of realization washed over the gathered crowd. Vanmontague had inadvertently painted his own essence into the canvas, and now, the portrait had become a conduit between the two souls, entwining their destinies forever. Tears welled in Lady Delia's eyes as she reached out to Vanmontague, her hand touching the painted surface. The painter's vitality slowly returned, and with each passing second, the portrait faded until only a faint outline remained. The burden of immortality had been lifted from Lady Delia, and she embraced her own mortality with newfound appreciation. The emotional impact of the moment was palpable, and the room filled with a profound silence. The universal appeal of the story resonated with the guests, each finding a piece of themselves in the struggle for identity, meaning, and the quest for eternal youth. Months later, Vanmontague's health improved as he found solace in the art of capturing fleeting moments of life rather than trying to preserve them indefinitely. Lady Delia, too, embarked on a journey of self-discovery, cherishing each passing day. The enigmatic portrait remained in the Vanmontague manor, serving as a reminder of the power and responsibility artists held, the ability to explore the depths of the human soul through their craft, while remaining mindful of the consequences their creations might wield. In the end, the mystery of Wallace Vanmontague's brush was not merely one of enigma, but a timeless exploration of life, art, and the universal struggle to understand the fleeting nature of existence. And so, the story of the portrait became an enduring tale, capturing the hearts and minds of generations to come.